Yo, 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 yo. It's Eating Demons. Alright, yeah, I know I've been gone for a while and shit. And I just I just been doing my own thing, learning and stuff and figuring out my own things and shit. And I just want to say that thanks for the increase of subs with either you came from like the my video gaming channel or whatever, or the music or these type of videos that I'm making right now. I just want to say thanks. Like, I honestly didn't think people would fuck with me and shit. But yeah, all right. There's a couple things I want to talk about that I've been learning and shit for a long time, I guess. The first thing, well, I'm gonna just list out the things, I guess. And then this is gonna be like, I'm not. This is not scripted or anything. It's just me going on top of my head and stuff. So I want to talk about two important words to me, which is balance and temptation, and how they apply into the world and everything. And also, I want to talk about focusing on goals or things that you want to do, and also not beating yourself up for things that happen. And I want to talk about how instead of viewing bad things, whatever, like, oh shit, like this happened, blah blah blah, like, look at it as an, okay, this happened for a reason. This happened because of this, So really, so the first thing, balance. If you think about it, everything has balance. I was talking about this shit with two of my friends, and like I was just going in and stuff. I wish I could have recorded it or some shit. I don't want to repeat myself and stuff, but if you think about it, everything has balance. Like even with just everything. More, for example, like the reason it got brought up to me is because one of my friends, we were talking and stuff. They're saying, "Hey, do you believe in God?" It's like, I don't think God's real. This and that. It's just too fake. Blah blah blah. It's weird. And I told them, well, if you think about it, the world we live in and shit is weird. I know I'm not trying to sound cliche. I'm like being dead ass. Like, us humans and stuff, like animals and shit, and just the planet that we're on and everything, and the universe and stuff. And I was telling them the reason why that's not weird to us is because we live it. But if we were to watch let's say we were watching a movie and it had some like weird creatures, weird universe, we'll be like, whoa, what the fuck, that's weird, because we haven't seen it. Think of it as, I told them, think of it as, let's pretend that the world that we live in doesn't exist, and like the universe and shit, right? That it was something else, but we saw it in a movie, right? If we saw our actual world, our gravity, like our humans, animals, the way we think, this and that, like technology, if we see it in the movie, then like we'll be like, whoa, what the fuck, that's weird, because we haven't seen it, but the reason why we don't act like that is because we're living it. So I told them, yeah, I think there might be something out there, God, this and that. Because if you think about it, the way we live and the way everything is planned out is weird. We just don't realize it because we live it. We can't acknowledge that, and it's fucking weird. And he was also telling me, well, if there's a God, then like, why does God make bad people? Why does he make murderers? And shit, and really these bad people. And then I just told him, well, it's balance. Everything has balance. You know what I'm saying? Like, even with atoms and shit, like, there's balance. Positive and negative, that balance each other. Like chemicals in your brain, they need to be balanced for your brain to function. Everything, like, there's a food chain. Why is there a food chain? To keep balance. Why is there natural disasters? Balance, right? Why is there fucking black holes sucking up like everything that's near it, destroying everything to create balance? And that's what I told them. I'm like, there's murders and stuff, and out here doing this, yes, it's horrible, but it's creating balance. Why do we die? Why can't we live forever? Balance, right? That's why. That's what I've just been thinking. Everything has balance. And I told him that, and he was kind of like, I opened up his mind and stuff, and it's just kind of weird because I can't really open up completely, because then people would seem I'm weird or some shit, or they won't understand what I'm saying, or like stuff like that. So I never open up or anything. But that's what I think. Deadass. And it's crazy because I think about that shit a lot. Whoa, like everything is happening, like everything has a reason for it. And that's another thing that I wanted to talk about, like reasons. Like shit happens for a reason. Everything has a reason, But I'll get that. I'll talk about that later. It's just really fucking crazy. And I'm sorry for like pausing and shit. I'm just doing this top of my head. I don't have a fucking script or anything, because I think that's fucking stupid. I might as well just speak to you like I'm talking to a friend, or like just speak my mind and stuff. But yeah, like balance, man. That shit plays a lot, not gonna lie. And some people might be listening to this shit and thinking I'm crazy, or like I'm maybe wrong. If I'm wrong, or some things I have wrong, whatever, like let me know. But that's just how I see it and stuff. And it's just, I just want you guys to think about that shit. I want you guys to acknowledge that type of shit. And then the other word is temptation, which mostly plays a role in your mind. Like, we have temptations. Like, temptation is everywhere, Like, we, like, so many things tempt us, either to become better, or just honestly even bad, Like, things might tempt us to even like want to do bad things and shit. And it's just crazy because the human mind, like dead ass, we think about ourselves too much. We think about the things we want, we want people to like us, we don't want to be lonely, we want love and stuff. And it's just really crazy that our world is so great. Like, it's bizarre, and like we're a speck in the universe, and like this shit goes deep, what I'm saying? Like, our minds, it's fucking weird. And you have to acknowledge that shit. And it's also weird to me that I'm acknowledging this, what I'm saying? It might sound weird, but yeah, it's just really, it's weird. And like, we have even little things will tempt us, like temptation. Like, there's so many things like that we would want, so many things we want to do and stuff. And to me, I sometimes think, like, why does that matter? Why is it because we want it? Like, what tempts us to do what we do? What tempts you to be a good person, a bad person? You know what I'm saying? What makes you want to grind for your goals? Why do we have this drive? Why do we have the motivation? How come some of us don't have that motivation? How come some of us don't have the will? How come some of us are just depressed and can't do shit about it? Or if you do try, it don't work. It's really fucked up. And everything is there for a reason. Like, it tempts us and shit. Like, it's like one of those things you see with like the evil angel and the devil and shit, like on your shoulders. Like, you have choices, you know what I'm saying? Things can tempt us, but you have choices. You could choose to do it, This person can tempt you to do this, Like, it's just, I know I probably might sound stupid. I'm not probably like explaining it right to you, but in my head, like, it fucking makes sense. And I'm sorry if I can't make it like make sense for you guys, but it just makes sense in my head, and it's really hard to explain. Really, really hard to explain. But that like is all like in our minds and shit, and I just feel like it's everywhere, to be honest. And those two words really are like balance and temptation. Is like, I think about that shit a lot, and I apply so many things to it, and it's really weird, and it's just insane. And sometimes that could lead you to like focus on your goals. Like, damn, like I see these people successful than me or something, I see this, I want that, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's really making me want to do these things, you know what I'm saying? Temptation is really making me want to do these things. And then focusing on your goals, like, that's also very difficult, but you got to understand that you have to, you know. I've realized that, like, after high school and stuff, I've been learning a lot and stuff, and I just been realizing all this shit, and how I'm actually doing shit now, and I kind of regret like everything in high school and middle school, elementary, because I kind of want to go back and change things, but obviously I can't, you know. And I keep what's that oh shit, sorry, what's that word called? I keep not reminiscing. I don't know. What's that word? I think this is a word that like you keep thinking about the past, but you only think about the things that you wanted to change and stuff, and that could really cause depression and stuff like that. I forgot. I think it's just called reminiscent. It's not reminiscing, because that's like you thinking about the good times and shit. But there's this word. Let's see. Rumination. Yeah. That's what it is. So when you think about the past, there's two different ways. Like, rumination is when you think about the past and it's just like a cycle. Like, it's just full of regrets. You just think about the regrets. You think about what things you would have done differently and stuff, and that will make you like depressed and shit. And that's what I have. Like, I have a problem with that shit, and obviously I'm fixing it and stuff. But that's what it is. Rumination is, well, when you think about the past and stuff, and you think about, damn, like I want to go back to this. I wish I could have done differently. Why didn't I do this? Why did I do like that? You have regret, and you're ruminating. Like, you feel sad about it, about your past and stuff. And when you do that, it really affects your present. It affects your life where you are right now. Because if you're living present and you keep thinking about the past, you keep doing it, and it literally will fuck you up. I promise you, it will fuck you up. Because I could, like, literally, it happens to me. Like, I'll be at work, I'll literally think about the past, like, maybe, like, 10, 20 minutes. I'll be like, damn, I should have done this. Or like, oh, what about this, you know? Like, I regret this and stuff. I shouldn't have been stupid. I shouldn't have done this. Like, I shouldn't have done these stupid things, you know? And it really fucks you up. And I'm obviously learning that, but I'm just saying that if one of you guys out there is doing that, you guys gotta try to stop. You guys have to acknowledge that you have that, you know. And the other word of when you're thinking about the past but you don't feel sad, you don't regret nothing, is called introspection. And then introspection, like, you know, means that you're looking at back in the past, but you're trying to find out why things happened. Like, self-exploration. You're curious of like why things happen, and you try to come up with conclusions on why the things happen, and if they made you who you are today, you know. And it doesn't have to be necessarily sad. You have introspection and look back at the past and be happy, like, oh snap, like I'm really happy because of this memory, because of this, it made me this, you know what I'm saying? It made me the person who I am. And that's what introspection is, you know. You're learning about yourself. It's self-exploration, you know. You're curious about all these things. And of course, I have that. Like, I mean, like, I would have that too. Like, oh, like, even though I would think about the past a lot and regret, I would also have I also have that, you know. I also have where I'll think about in the past and be like, I'm kind of glad that happened because it made me this, it made me wiser, this and that. But still, you know, like, you guys have to acknowledge these things. And I'm trying to help you out and shit, because I don't want you guys to, like, have grief. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want you have, I don't guys, I'm fucking slurring my words because I'm thinking too fucking much. I mean, thinking too fast. I'm trying to say so many things at once. I don't, like, you guys have to live in the present and shit. And if you're thinking about the past, think about it as in, damn, those were good memories. Do not think about things that you would have changed. Do not think about your regrets, because it will fuck you up. And I know it's really difficult to, I'm going through that shit, and it's just funny how I'm telling you guys not to do it and shit, but I'm over here struggling. But I'm just saying, like, I'm working on it, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just saying that you guys have to acknowledge it. If it's happening to you, you guys got to fix that shit and work on it, you know, work on yourself. And that's another thing we'll talk about. But I just want to end it off saying that I don't want you to have grief, but I want you to have gratitude. Like, I don't want you to, soon your time will come, you know, and you'll be off this. You won't be in this world no more. And I don't want you guys to have grief saying, damn, I should have done this. I should have taken these opportunities. I should have done this, you know, and I do not want that. And it's scary to think about that your last moments of living and taking your last breath is you thinking about the past and how your life wasn't the way you wanted it to be. That's scary. I don't want that. That's why I'm changing right now, especially because I'm out of fucking high school, middle school, elementary, like, that shit. I hated that. And I want gratitude. I want to be grateful. I want to look back and think, damn, I lived the best I could. I'm satisfied with my life. And that's how I want to pass away. And you guys have to acknowledge this shit. People are not acknowledging this shit. People my age, like, I'm fucking 19, and I'm thinking about so much shit like this, and I'm like, holy fuck, I'm dead ass having conversations like this at my work, like, with adults who are like in their 30s, you know, 40s. And people my age don't realize this shit until they're 30, you know, or like in their late 20s. And then they're like, oh shit, you know, people my age are just, you know, thinking about drugs, you know, fucking partying, this and that. And yeah, that's cool, right? Yeah. You could do that. Like, the fuck? You could do that shit. You could have fun. You could live your life. I'm just saying, you can also have fun and do these things, but also have the back of your mind about what I'm telling you. You can also do that shit. But for people who are just, you know, just care about how they, like, what they, for people liking them, they just care about popularity, fucking drugs, sex, parties and stuff, and they don't acknowledge that the shit I'm spitting out right now, like, that's just kind of stupid, you know? You got to think about this shit. But if you do acknowledge that and you're doing all that stuff, that's great. You're living your life. At least you acknowledge it. At least you know about it. You know, at least it's on the back of your mind. You know? And it's just really crazy because nobody wants to regret their shit. You know, nobody want to have regrets. And obviously, there'll be points where you'll have regrets. And that's what I'm telling you now. If you do have regrets and stuff, and life just keeps moving on, you cannot think about the past. It'll fuck you up. Or if you do, like I said, if you think about the past, look at the good times and think about how things changed you for the good, you know? That's just, and obviously I'm working on that and stuff. I'm just saying, you guys have to acknowledge this shit. You guys have to know this shit. And yeah, that's, like, I sometimes can't feel like I'll have conversations like this with people my age, because then they probably wouldn't understand it. They probably would understand it but not care as much, and they wouldn't, like, they'll be, oh yeah, dude, for sure, like, this and that. So, like, I'm mostly dead ass, like, when I talk like this, I'm mostly talking to my coworkers at work, and 2 of them actually, and but they're adults, you know what I'm saying, and they get it. And we're out there talking and shit, and one of my coworkers was telling me, yeah, that's some real shit, what I was saying to them and stuff, like basically what I'm saying right now. And they were saying that it's really good to acknowledge these things at a young age, because then you could live your life to the fullest. Because sometimes people acknowledge this shit when they're 30 or like late 20s, and then sometimes it's too late to change things. It's too late to make yourself better, you know? Sometimes it's just too late. And I know, like, cliche saying it's never too late, but for some things, like mentality wise, sometimes mentality and just opportunities and just your choices, sometimes it's too late, you know? And then you think about, damn, I should have taken this opportunity, or damn, I shouldn't have done this, and it's too late. But if you acknowledge these things, and if you knew about this, you probably would have taken some more time and more consideration about things that you do, you know, or like opportunities that you take. But yeah, and that's just how I just wanted to end it off right there. And then also, next thing is like focusing on yourself, you know, and don't beat yourself up if things happen. You know, everything, think of everything, that things happen for a reason. You know, let's say you're working your ass off and you go for that job, but they turn you down, and you're like, what the fuck? Like, there's two ways you have to think about it. There's no way you gotta think, oh shit, I'm shitty, this, and like I'm not gonna do this, I give up. No, it's not that. Either think of it as there's a reason why they turned you on. There's a reason, because either you actually weren't good, and so that should give you reason to work harder, right? That happens for a reason, so that shit could push you and work harder and get to where you want to be, right? Or maybe it's just simply not your thing. Maybe that shit happened for a reason, because maybe that's not your thing and you have something else that you could be better at. It's one of those two things, whichever how it pushes you. But never think, damn, like, I give up, you know? Fuck this shit, I'm done with it. Nah, like, don't think that shit. Think everything happens for a reason. Think of that shit. And some people out here just, they care more about like their popularity and like how people view them and stuff, rather than their own mind and the way, like, people gotta focus more on themselves, either like mentally, you know what I'm saying? Also, that could be physically, because obviously if you look good, right, then you feel good. But you shouldn't try to be looking good for other people. That's what many people do, that and stuff. You know, me personally, I want to look good so I could feel good and shit. That's just how it is. And you guys have to focus onto what you want to do and stuff, and just think of everything that happens for a reason, you know? Don't be giving up. Don't be saying fuck this, fuck that. Like, things happen for a reason. Don't beat yourself up for it. Like, for not, like, an example, I was kind of like, I was really fucked up and stuff and shit, and from other videos you guys knew and stuff. And so with the whole, like, my breakup situation, at first I was thinking, this is an example. At first I was thinking, what the fuck, like, shit, like, I'm shitty, this and that, I'm bad, this and that, like, fuck it, I'm done with love, this and that, right? Then I looked at it as a reason, like, wait a second, like, maybe whatever's out there, God, you know, universe, whatever, is giving me another chance. And I said, this shit happened for a reason, because this, they're giving me another chance. I'm getting another chance to work on myself. I have another chance to fix myself mentally and reach my happiness mentally, and turn my body to the way I want it again. You know? And that's how I saw it. Instead of me moping around, obviously, but then I realized I can't be moping around, blah, 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 like, and think, man, fuck love, fuck, every bitch is the same, this and that, right? No, I turned it to a reason, like, okay, this happened because God is telling me, or whatever is telling me, This is it. Here's your other chance. You wanted this happiness for these 3 years since the last time I was happy. This is it. This is your chance. Now go get it. Now go fucking do it. You know? This is it. And that's how I thought about it. So yeah, this is it. And then that's when I started focusing on my mind, this and that, and I got better mentally. And now I'm working on my body, this and that, and it's going good. And that's how I saw it. That's an example for you guys. You know, think of it as things happening for a reason. Don't be fucking giving up. Why are you giving up? You know, if you're doing something for so long, and because of people telling you, oh, like, that's shitty, you can't do that, blah blah blah, right? And then you just decide to give up. Like, what the fuck? Why? You know what I'm saying? You've come too far to give up. Why are you throwing away all those hours of hard work just down the drain like that? Why? Don't be listening to other people. You focus on your own shit. And if things happen, let's say like you got the job that you want, right? But you get fired. Like, something happens, you know, they think you're not good enough, you get fired. Instead of crying and stuff and like moping around saying, what the fuck, this and that, think of it, okay, this happened for a reason. Why? This happened for a reason because God or whatever's out there, or anything, the way you could be, even if you see yourself as independent, okay, that's fine. You could just say, okay, they fired me, that's fine, right? I'll get other opportunities. Think of it like that, you know. There will be other opportunities. There'll be other chances. Okay, I'm fired, this and that. I'm back to my square one, right? I'm back to where I am. But this is my chance to work on myself. This is my chance to improve my craft. This is my chance to get better to what I'm doing, and then I'll get a better job. You know, that's what you have to think about. Don't beat yourself up for it. This shit should motivate you. You know what I'm saying? Failure should motivate you. Everybody's failed. Everybody. Nobody can say, I never failed anything. No, everybody has. That's how we get better. That's what motivates us. You know what I'm saying? People gotta know that shit. When you fail at something, you can't just fucking give up. Like, what the fuck are you giving up for? You failed. Alright, get back and do it again. You know what I'm saying? Think of shit things happen for a reason. You know? Don't be blaming yourself for shit. It's stupid. Everybody fails. Everybody. And you'll get better, like, if you just work on yourself. And that's one thing too, like, you will live happy if you are happy. Like, if you work on yourself to be happy. You know what I'm saying? Because I could look, and I could tell you right now, there's people who don't have as much shit but are really happy, right? And there's other people who are rich but they're very unhappy. You know, it doesn't matter what you have. It doesn't matter what you have or like own. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you are mentally stable, if you know how shit works, if you acknowledge it to what I'm telling you, if you know how life is and how life would work and how your mind would work, guarantee you'd be happy. If you could have nothing, you could be fucking homeless. You could be more happy than a motherfucking dude with a Benz, you know, with a Bentley, with a fucking mansion. You know, I could tell you that right now. And most of you guys are, you know, I'm sure you guys are very successful. I'm sure. Or trying to be, right? Everybody is. That's everyone's goal, and that's great. But only a few of us has the actual, like, will to do that shit. You know? And you could have anything in the fucking world, but if your mind isn't right, what's the point? You got all these money, you got all these cars, you got this mansion, right? But you're sad, so what's the point of all it? You know what I'm saying? What's the point of your success? What's the point of your success if you're just gonna throw it away? If you're just gonna throw it away because, like, you're sad, what's the point? Instead, fix your mind, get mentally better, right? Acknowledge all the shit that I'm telling you, And once you're happy, right? Once you're mentally happy and you ain't sad and shit, and you have these fucking cars, right? Your dream house, you have money, you're rich, right? Oh, you're fucking living life. That's what it is. But I could tell you right now, for anyone who's obviously either poor or maybe, no, you know what? Just not poor, not rich. They're living a decent life, right? Decent, maybe just a regular house, you know what I'm saying? 2 cars, right? Nothing crazy. A house with like 3 bedrooms. You have a decent paying job. Obviously, you don't have many expensive things, but you have some, And I can guarantee you that that person who is in middle class, I'm just say that, is happy and has their fucking mind like, hell yeah, right? They will live a better life than a person with money and shit, but who is like depressed and who doesn't know how to fix his mind, or fix her mind. Guarantee you. Because honestly, yeah, having these things is really nice. Not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie. But to be honest, I prefer loving myself and having a better mind, honestly. Literally, if someone asked me, hey, would you want to be a millionaire? Or do you honestly want self-love? Do you want always to be happy? Do you want the body that you want, right? Do you want the mind that you want? Do you want the friends, all the friends that you pushed away and all the friends you lost back? I take that any day. I'm telling you, I would. And most of the people who are listening to this that know me might think, yeah, right, you're fronting this and that, you're fucking lying, this and shit. But you take the money, you'll be a millionaire, blah blah blah. Nah, like if I'm gonna be a millionaire and I'm gonna still be the same shit, like depressed and shit, and still none of my friends, I still don't have love for myself. What's the point of being a millionaire? I'm just wasting that shit. I'm just wasting that shit. It's fucking stupid. That's what I'm saying. I can guarantee you, anyone who's watching this might be more successful than me, shit. But I'm just saying, if I reach to the point where I actually am happy and shit, and I know, and I'm happy, plus I acknowledge all this shit, and I know all about this shit that I'm spitting right now, I'll be a lot more happier than you, even if your parents got money, even if you got a nice fucking car, even if you have, a degree in university and shit, even if you're living great, right? I'll still be more happier than you, because no matter what you have, materialistically, like, that shit don't matter. It's what you have on your mind. It's your mindset that fucking matters. You know what I'm saying? So if you're successful, if you listen to this shit and you have a good life, but you're still sad and stuff, stop wasting that fucking life. What are you doing? Stop wasting it. And I know people might think, oh, like, people who know me, oh, you're hypocritical, this and that. You're like this. You have a decent life. Yeah, I know I was hypocritical. I was never depressed. I was never sad based on where I am in my life. Like, I don't care about this financial shit. I don't care. Like, yeah, I live a decent life, but the thing is, I'm not sad about that shit. I'm not. The thing that I'm mostly sad about is myself. Deadass myself. And I just hate myself and stuff like that. I don't have self-love, this and that. That's what I'm sad about. I'm not sad of where I am. I don't care if I'm rich, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm grateful that I'm not poor as fuck, but I'm not rich, trust me, bro. Like, me and my family, like, we're not rich, but we're also not poor. And I'm not sad of where we at. I promise you, if someone came up to me and said, yo, here, like, just gave me fucking formula, like, here, you're always happy, you're confident, this and that, you have self-love for yourself, but the thing is, you're still going to be here, you're still going to have this life that you have, you're not going to be famous, rich, you're not going to be on yachts, you're not going to be in private jets, this and that, I'd be like, that's fine, fuck yeah, because I'm, like I said, I'm not sad of where I am, I'm just sad with myself, I hate myself, well, not right now, I'm just, talking, but I am working on myself, and I am feeling better, but that's what I'm saying. And it just really sucks, because my entire, like, elementary, not most, like, probably like half of my elementary, my entire middle school, my entire high school, I deadass, like, just wasted it. I wasted my life for just being sad and shit. And even though I acknowledge some of these things, even as like a young kid, I still didn't apply to it. I couldn't. I honestly couldn't. And I that's why I be ruminating it and stuff, and that's why I be thinking about the past, and that's why, everything happens for a reason, and that's just how it is. It's all about the mind. And some of y'all might be fucking like, yeah, right, this and that. Like, if I was a millionaire, this and that, I'd be happy as shit. I'll be happy. Well, there's some people who are listening who aren't, like, listening to this shit, who aren't, like, depressed, or, like, who, they'll just get sad for, like, a week or two, but they aren't depressed. They haven't been depressed for years like me and shit, and haven't gone through some things, Some of those people are out there. And obviously they'll say, oh, yeah, I'll take the money, this and that. But if someone who actually is similar to me or had it worse than me, I feel like they would agree with me and feel the same way to what I'm saying and shit. And it's just like, it's crazy. It's honestly crazy, because and I wish I can give you the secret to, like, knowing how to love yourself and stuff. Like, I'm not there yet, but I'm obviously getting better. And honestly, the way, the only person who can help you is you. Go out there, fucking either meditate, right? Look up things on how to make you feel better, or just acknowledge these things that I'm telling you, and maybe open your eyes and stuff. Eat better, right? You know what I'm saying? Work out. Do these things. Don't be wasting your life. Don't be ruminating. No more rumination. I hope I'm saying that word right. I kind of forgot it. I think it's that word. Don't be thinking about the past and regret it. Instead, be introspection. Introspect in your life. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't. Like, if you're gonna think about the past, think about it being happy. Think about the reasons why it happened. Well, think about things that happened that made you into a better person. Self-explore. That's what you have to do. And just acknowledge that all the shit I'm telling you. You know what I'm saying? Because if you acknowledge these things, what I'm telling you at a early age, it'll just help you with your entire life. And so to stop being like, so if you want these things, whatever you want, like, don't give up. You know what I'm saying? Just don't. It's not. And I'm just, even though I still have that problem where I think about things I should have done and stuff, like even in middle school, stuff like that, like, I'm still learning about that shit. I'm still learning how to control that, but I'm just saying, like, it really fucks you up. It really does. And you guys have to be smart with the decisions that you make, because I don't care how successful, for some people out there, like, I'm telling you right now, I don't care how successful you are and shit, right? But if you're depressed, then what's the point, right? Literally, I could live the way I am right now, and if I'm happy and I know these things, you know what I'm saying, and I know how to be happy, I know what causes this, and I have self-love, and you're out here doing whatever you want to do, right? But if you're still depressed, what the fuck? Of course I'm gonna be doing better than you, even though by society's eyes I'm not doing better than you, right? Because why? You got a car, right? You got your own house. You got a degree in university. So in society's eyes, you're doing better than me, right? You're doing better than an average person who doesn't have those things and just has a job, this and that. Society's eyes, you're doing better. But in reality, you're not, because your mind. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. So don't be wasting your success. Don't be wasting it. You guys have to understand this shit. Don't waste your success. Wake the fuck up. And I was talking with one of my friends at my work, and she was telling me, like, I sometimes feel like my life sucks, this and that, and I get sad, this and that, and it's like, I just hate my life, blah, blah, blah. And I tell her, yeah, it's fine to think about that. It's fine. It's normal to be saying, oh, my life sucks. I fucking hate this life, blah, 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 right? But if you don't acknowledge that there's other people who have it worse than you, then you're fucking stupid. Like, wake the fuck up. you know? And that's another thing. If you're gonna feel sorry about your life, you're gonna feel sorry. That's completely normal. If you're gonna be sad, that's normal. That's fucking human. You know what I'm saying? People are rich as fuck and shit, right? And they're sad and stuff, and people hate on them, saying like, "You're rich as fuck. You're famous, this and that. Why the fuck you sad? Blah blah blah." Me, I don't really care. You know, it's like that's human. Just because they have these things, they could be sad. Like I was saying before, you know, you can be sad even if you're better than most people. You know, it's normal. But the only reason why it's normal is if you acknowledge that there's other people who have it worse than you. You know, like for me, I'd be like, yeah, like my shit's not going good, this and that. I don't like this. I'm like sad, this and that. But I don't beat myself up for it because I know that I'm doing better than millions of other people. You know, from around the world. And you guys have to acknowledge that shit. If you're gonna feel sorry for yourself and you're gonna hate your life and say, oh fuck my life, this and that, I hate my life, this and that, at least acknowledge that there's other people in the world that you're doing better. That your life is better than millions of other people around the world. Acknowledge that shit and know that shit. Because if you don't know that shit, if that's not going through your mind, then you're fucking like, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like for me, yeah, I like, trust me, this was me before. I'd be like, oh yeah, I don't fuck with my life, this and that, like I hate this shit, blah blah blah. But then I know, oh, I'm doing better than other people, right? So like a week goes by or something, and I just feel better. I'm like, okay, like it's okay, this and that, right? And it's obviously normal. It's human. You could be sad. It's okay. For me, even for people who are happy, right? If the people I'm telling you, oh, you could be happy, this and that. Yeah, you could be happy, this and that. But if you're sad, that's normal. You know, it's part of the emotion. You could be sad. What I'm saying is, you can be sad. Sad and being depressed is completely different. Depressed is literally months, maybe even years, and it affects your life dramatically. You know? You can be like for me, where I'm spitting this shit. Oh yeah, like let's say I'm spitting this shit right now to you guys, right? And then I'm happy, right? I make a video. Oh, I'm so happy, this and that. I make another video. Hey guys, I'm pretty sad, this and that. And some of you guys will be like, what the fuck? Like you're spitting bullshit. Like what? Why are you sad? Blah blah blah. No. It's you can be sad. You could be sad for a week, just whatever it is. That's human. It's fucking human. What's not fucking human is being fucking depressed for years and letting it affect your life. You know? That ain't right. That's not right. You know? You can be sad. That's okay. That's normal. But do not be depressed. You cannot be depressed for years and months. You cannot be depressed. You cannot let that shit. You cannot let things ruin your life. No. You could be the happiest person. Right, you could be the fucking happiest person, and you're listening to this shit right now, and you're like, hell yeah, like I'm this, I know all this, I'm happy as fuck. And then you can be sad too, you know what I'm saying? And that's okay. I will not shame you. I will not be like, what the fuck, why you sad? Like, you happy, this and that. No, that's fine. You could be sad. You could be sad for whatever you want. Just don't be depressed. Do not get into depression and let it ruin your life. There's a difference between that shit. And many people don't fucking realize that shit. They don't. They'll look at someone who's so happy and shit, and then when they become sad, they're like, why the fuck you sad? You're always happy. Like, dude, it's fucking normal to be sad, you know? It's okay, guys. What I'm telling you, I'm not saying right now being sad is fucking wrong. I'm not saying that. Alright? I'm just saying this one more time. It's okay to be sad. It's okay. It's human. It's okay to think that your life is shit. It's okay. It's okay that you hate your life, right? Or you feel like you hate your life and shit. That's normal to think that shit. But, here's the but. Acknowledge that your life is better than millions of other people's. And if you hate your life, and if you say, I hate my life, that's okay, right? That's okay, think that shit. But, if you actually hate your life, change it. It's normal to think these things, but it's not normal if you do not do shit about it. It's normal to be sad, but don't get into depression. Don't let it ruin your fucking life. If you hate your life, that's okay to think that, but do something about it if you hate your fucking life. you know? If you think to yourself, oh, my life is the worst, blah, 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 at least think about, no, my life is better than many people, you know what I'm saying? And then you'll get over it slowly, you know, and you'll be like, all right, you feel better, this and that. Just know that shit. Acknowledge that shit. People gotta know that. And when I said all this shit to my coworker that I was talking to, she was saying, she's like, wow, I feel a lot better about myself. Like, I don't feel as shitty when I say I hate my life and stuff. Because I told her, no, it's normal. As long as you acknowledge that there's other people who have it worse than you, then it's normal. It's human. You know what I'm saying? It's okay. It's normal to be sad. And that's just how it is. And you just gotta I'm just spitting the shit out because, like, I don't know, like, I know it's been a while since I made a video and stuff, but, like, it's just these are the things that run through my fucking head, and, like, I feel like people need to understand. I'm not telling you how to live your life and stuff like that. I'm not telling you that. You know, I'm not forcing you. I'm just sharing my opinions of what I think people should be doing. And I might be wrong. You guys might disagree and stuff. Let me know. I like to hear what you guys want to say, or, like, think, you know. And that's just how it is. And so like, yeah, like, that's one thing that I just want people to fucking know. And another thing is, sometimes people, when things, this goes back to, like, things happen for a reason. I know I'm just jumping all over the fucking place. Is that sometimes people think, oh, it's my fault, this and that, like, and it just affects many people's, like, daily life. Like, it's not your fault if you had an abusive father. You know what I'm saying? It's not your fault if you had a broken home. It's not your fault. You know, it's not your fault that your significant other, or the person you love, like, left you. It's not your fault. It's not your fault if they cheated on you, you know? It's not your fault if it's not your fault that you grew up without a dad. It's not your fault if you grew up without a mom. It's not your fault that you grew up in an orphanage. It's not your fault, you know? And but like, it is your responsibility to, like, learn how to cope with everything like that, you know? It's not your fault that you've been abused, you know, as a kid or anything like that. I'm just putting out in general. It's not your fault for some certain things, but it is your responsibility to know how to, like, cope with it, and it's your responsibility to learn how to deal with it, you know? And it's just how life is, you know? Like, this goes for either way in a relationship, right? They leave you, or they cheat on you. It's not your fault. Your heart is broken, right? Your heart was broken, but it wasn't your fault. Don't think about it was your fault. It was not your fault. But you have to deal with it. You have to learn how to deal with it. That's your responsibility. That's what you have to do. You have to deal with that shit. You know? It's not your fault that you grew up with an alcoholic father and who fucking would abuse you, right? But it is your responsibility to deal with that trauma. You have to learn how to cope with it. These are just examples. I'm not just saying that, like, I'm not implying that to me, my situation. Like, I'm grateful that, like, my parents are really great to me and stuff like that. But I'm just saying, like, these are examples. It's not your fault. Some things may be your fault. Some things. I'm just saying. But things that I'm talking about right now, like things that you really don't have control over, they're not your fault, but it is your fucking responsibility to learn how to deal with it and know how to cope with it. If you don't know how to do that shit, then you won't live your fullest life. You won't. That's what you guys have to understand that shit. And things happen for a reason, you know. And remember, things happen for a reason. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to think that you, or say that you hate your life, you know. But obviously, just acknowledge everything that I said, and don't let your sadness lead to depression. If you actually hate your life, change it. I'm just saying it's okay to say those things or think those things. You know what I'm saying? Just acknowledge everything. Just know about this shit. And obviously, for things that isn't your fault, have responsibility. Have responsibility to know how to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? Find your happiness. Do not beat yourself up if things happen. Look at it as a failure. Look at it as a lesson, and look at it as a reason why it happened. Do not beat yourself up for it. Okay? And focus on what you want to do. Focus on your goals. Remember that shit. And another, just one quick thing also, like, that I forgot to talk about really, is if work on yourself. You know what I'm saying? Stop worrying about other people if they're not worrying about you. Work on yourself. Do not get in a relationship if you do not love yourself. You understand? Do not push people away. Do not push people away who are trying to help you. Push people away who are who are dragging you down. People who don't care about you, push them away. Why do you need them in your life? But for people who dead ass support you and stuff and motivate you and try to be in your life, do not push them away. All I can say is you will be successful if your mind is successful. If you make your mind successful, if you study, if you meditate, if you sun gaze, if you need any of this shit or like whatever, you will become better. If you just open your mind to new things, to philosophy, anything that you're interested into, like hobbies and stuff like that, you'll become better. If you just focus, you know, that's just how it is. That's how I see it. That's what I think about that shit. You guys have to focus. And another thing is, you guys might not agree with me, but I say balance and temptation is like everywhere. From the way I see it, it's really weird. It is. But yeah, I hope that you guys can like understand what I've been saying and stuff. And I don't know if shit was confusing and shit. Like, I'm so sorry. Like, I really am. It's kind of hard to like put everything out and stuff. Whatever I'm thinking about, it's kind of hard for me to explain. And for some people that were watching this, if like I talk to you and when I talk about deep shit, I know you guys will understand. Like, it's kind of hard for me to spit it out there, but like I hope that you guys kind of get the idea and understand, you know. And I just want to say thank you to the subs that I got, really, like either from my music, from these type of videos, podcasts, from my gaming, whatever it is. Like, I just want to say thank you once again. And yeah, like, hopefully whoever's listening to this shit, like, shout out to you guys if you guys made it through the whole fucking video. It's really dope. And just remember all this shit that I told you. Like, at least think about it. If you disagree with me, tell me why you disagree. You know, if you believe in other things, tell me what you believe. I'm really open to anything. I just really want to help. Like, considering I've been so miserable and shit for years, like, and now that I'm actually getting better and stuff and I'm seeing things differently, I just want to help. I just want to help people. Yeah. And Yeah, this is a long ass video. Alright, well, thank you for anyone who's listened to the whole thing. I appreciate you guys. And just remember all this shit, you know? Know all this shit. And then go make your life worth it. You know? Do not waste your success. Do not waste it. Do not waste the good things that you have. Because there's no point in having it then if you're just basically throwing it away, you know? Alright. Yeah. Alright. I'll see you in the next video. Honestly don't know when, but just know I'm doing my thing and shit. But yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Take care, everyone.
Life is short. That's kind of the phrase. Life is short, time is short. And it does, as we get older, time does quicken. It's long, and it's long pertaining to that thought that the past is not done with you because you can't get rid of it.